Good evening, you guys. We're going to wait for some more people to come in and then we'll get going. Hey, guys, we're going to be talking about primarily some information that is just coming in about China's involvement in Antifa and BLM. And one of the tweets that I saw last night was from a Jacob Gonzalez, and he talks about just the same thing. And he asked the question, what's going on over at the border? What's Antifa doing and what's the Chinese doing? And in his tweet, he shares a paragraph here and it talks about Chinese military trucks late at night driving down the freeway in Canada to this particular Indian reservation for the past 6 months. The Prime Minister of Canada signed a treaty in January of 2020 allowing Chinese troops possession of Canadian land. And it says here, eyewitnesses are reporting seeing Antifa groups going to and from Washington State to Canada to the Indian Reservation in Canada, where the Chinese troops are located. Eyewitnesses also reported that these Chinese troops are supplying Antifa in Seattle at the same time. And I'm going to look up the treaty. Don't know if you guys were aware of that. I just learned that last night. And there's an article that goes along with that. Let's see here. It says the Chinese are coming, and this is from November 23rd, 2013 from medium.com. And it talks to about secret Chinese military bases in Canada and Mexico and taking a closer look. And it goes on here in the paragraph, the Chinese People's Liberation Army has nearly 1 million combat troops in Canada and Mexico. It has a network of bases throughout North America, flies military transport aircraft over Southern California at night, and is preparing for, then this says here in the article, and you got to take it with a grain of salt, this is just what we're finding here, the eventual takeover of America. And it goes on here to say that worst of all, that the Stunning Act is going on right underneath their noses. There's a whole article here. This is from medium.com. And the headline again is the Chinese are coming, the Chinese are coming. And this is just looking into the headlines again from that one tweet. Now, this is from 2013. Now, going back to that one tweet, again, this is from Jacob Gonzalez. This is from October 7th, just a couple days ago. And he's asking questions as to what's going on at the border north of Washington. Now, people are going online talking about seeing military trucks late at night going to and from the border, and primarily coming from this Indian reservation over in Canada. And that there are, I guess there was a treaty signed either late last year or early this year from Trudeau allowing the Chinese to actually put their troops there on Canadian land, on soil. And earlier in the day, doing some more digging into this, there was an article talking about just in Vancouver alone that the Chinese own 1/3 of the land in Vancouver. I guess this is brand new. I'm just finding out about this. But I'm going to put together a show after this and I'll put all the links in it. And then you guys can check it out. And maybe you guys might find some more information we can share later. And I love the Epoch Times. There's an article that just came out last night and was updated today, the 9th. And the title is China Ties to U.S. Riots Exposed by Trevor Loudon. Now, this is from the Epoch Times. This is very reliable and it's very neutral and actual reporting. It says here, most of the riots are raked. Most of the riots that raked the U.S. within the last few months were organized by two socialist organizations, which have close ties with the Chinese Communist Party, said Trevor Loudon, author and filmmaker who has been researching radical and terrorist groups and their covert influence on mainstream politics over the last 30 years. And it says here that the Freedom Rose Socialist Organization, FRSO, based out of Minneapolis, is an openly pro CCP organization. And there's more tied into this. And this is a heavy article. It says Liberation Road talks about Liberation Road is basically a Chinese directed movement, Loudon said. It is a socialist organization drawing more Marxist ideology with a clear focus on building the resistance to Trump, its website said. Have you guys heard anything about this? I just heard this last night. And then the more you dig into this, the more this has been going on, at least, like I said, that previous article dates back to 2013. And then this one is at least 2 days old and made updates today. And this too talks about the CCP and its organization supplying BLM and Antifa with supplies and supporting what they're doing, destroying our country and our cities. This is some heavy stuff. Hi Tori, how are you? Let me get back over here to chat. How you guys doing tonight? I got some more great news. My truck got fixed. I actually just picked it up today. I finished cleaning it inside and out, vacuuming. In fact, that's why I put my hair up. I had about maybe a half an hour to make my daughter dinner and get ready for the show and get all the tabs ready. Sad thing is, it's our own people doing it. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. A lot of people, and we've had many conversations about this, how we're so separate from previous generations. You had people going to war and fighting for our country, and now the very same people who raised their kids and then the next generation, it's like they just completely forgot about why we had these world wars. It was fighting actual fascism, actual socialism, having that thumb over the people and the world getting together saying, no, this is wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. This is all wrong. And unfortunately, the very same thing that we fought a couple generations ago, not even. Get people here in our own country inviting it, welcoming it. Again, it's finding that it's getting back to that balance. I think we need to find that balance of convenience, having that convenience, things that are instant now, versus getting your hands dirty and actually working for something, finding that balance in our lives. And I think that's why we're having this great awakening, albeit a little late, but it is happening. People are getting back to the roots, getting back to growing your own food, getting back to creating things and working together. And a lot of this stuff ties in very well with a lot of these natural changes that are very much cyclical, like grand solar minimum, for example. If you look back in the history of those, there have been societal falls, political falls, mass migration, and a lot of that is looking familiar right now, especially with, unfortunately, the crops being destroyed around the world with droughts and floods and early frosts and snows. And we've talked about that a lot. And if you go back to previous videos, I leave all the links down below talking about all that global, sorry about the lighting, we're working on those situations and why it's so important to be prepared. And one of the articles I talk about, and we've mentioned previously, are grocery stores getting ready for that quote second wave, and why it's so important for you guys to get prepared your own selves. And again, I've made videos, and there are plenty of other channels that I love to share, talking about and explaining actually hands on. Hey, Rob, how easy it is to get prepared, and how you too can get bins, Mylar bags. And unfortunately, it's so hard to get. Let me fix this guy. Sorry. The canning supplies. There are that shortage of canning supplies where even I can't find canning jars and lids and whatnot. I tried looking online, even that Canadian website. Now they're sold out. That Bernardin one. Early on, I think it was last week, I mentioned it, and I can't find anything on there. Yeah, if you guys want to send me emails, let me just save this for later. Yeah, if you have any links, feel free to email me. TalkwithTiffany at Proton Mail. I do appreciate those links and information you guys want to share and get out there. Absolutely. Yeah, today I was trying to get more links together, but I have a ton of stuff on here. And one talks about the grocery store. The grocery store is getting ready. Here it is. This is from CNN. This talks about the second wave, their second wave, and even talks about the meat supply and the price is surging. This one right here, the headline is worried about more shortages. Grocery stores are stockpiling goods. Again, this is basic stuff we've talked about for quite some time now, and that is getting prepared, not just for your snowstorms, your ice storms, or power outages, which are honestly year round, but for troubling times ahead of us. And a lot of people like to put a lot of their eggs in different baskets. A lot of them are putting them in the election coming up, and a lot of challenges that are going to come from that. A lot of them think EMP or CME or something man made or anything else that's man made. Look out west between the riots. And that's what they are. They're not friendly protests, they're not peaceful protests. Bernardin has been sold out for months. Newell, who manufactures Ball, yep, Karen Bernardin said they won't have any products until June of next year. Someone did write an article talking about the raw short supplies with glass and the lids. Same thing with a lot of canning supply. Canning companies, everything from West Virginia to Chicago and other states, having a lot of those plants just up and shut down. And that's been happening for, I want to say, late last year and especially into this year. A lot of those plants were closing down. You're right. Absolutely. It's not just the fact that they don't have it, it's just the raw materials. And let's see what else we have. I have, hey Jeff, how are you? I have picked up a few boxes of rings and lids, only 6 each for a box, but it's something. Absolutely. Like I said before, we've talked about this. Getting your hands on stuff now while it's available and affordable, or even just a little bit more, get that now. It's like the basics, the very basics. For example, split peas. Split peas are affordable and they're very high in protein. I believe it's 7 grams of protein per quarter cup. That's a lot of protein. And it's very cheap. You can get about 14 servings per bag. Evening. Yeah, how are you guys? I'm hoping Reagan pops in tonight. He's down in Louisiana. I want to know him and his family are okay with Delta. The winds and the waves are starting to pick up down there. Last I saw from BP Earthwatch, waves are starting to get about 9 feet and growing. So you guys have any updates down there? Ball pint jar mason jar 16 ounce set of 12 for $39 on Amazon right now. For a set of 12. I remember getting a set of 12 for maybe $10, $11 at our feed store. Yeah, guys, I'm shocked for about a moment, but then realistically, supply and demand. Oh, he's streaming right now. Okay, all right, good. All right, I'll have to pop over. I saw him last night or the night before. We were making all that applesauce and pies. Supply and demand, exactly. Exactly. Okay, good. Yeah, him and his daughters were on, and they were talking about maybe potentially sticking around if it was a cat too. I'm like, okay, just get out. Because here's the sad thing: someone actually went online and posted a photo from a plane flying in. I don't know, some airport down there, and they just saw a sea of blue tarps over so many. Yeah, just so many homes, so many blue tarps covered. And from what I've heard from him and others, it takes, unfortunately, weeks at best to get. Um, oh, hold on a second, guys. What is it? What is it? Oh, just one. Yeah, thank you. Hi, guys. This was a very busy, productive day. He's still home? All right. Well, hey, you know what? I think you did mention that when you're down there for some time, a lot of people feel confident riding these storms out, but hopefully they do have friends and family or backup plans, something they can go to. Yeah, that's like if it's just yourself, that's one thing. But when you get family, it's a personal call. It's an absolute personal call. But I would just say go if you can. But I get it. It's hard. That's your home. But like I was saying, that picture of just miles of these blue dots dotting the landscape of those are roofs covered in tarps. And then you have this storm coming through now. Jeff Young, I was getting jars for $10 a dozen for half pint and $10 for 9 quarts. Yeah. And again, remember those tips and tricks about going to Joanne Fabric and those coupons and or even online, local feed stores, those Mennonite stores, any of those little, niche stores. Yeah, pints, I got you. $40 for a dozen. That's insane. The price gouging, that's what irks me the most. I mean, being out is one thing, but that reminds me of those people over in England. There was a story of a guy who basically ransacked a store of toilet paper early on and then went back to return. The guy's like, just get, like, he was yelling at the guy. The manager's telling him, get out. Like, who do you think you are? All right, really? You're not going to do this. But yeah, like I said before, you do the best you can while things are available and affordable at this point. Meats, if you have deep freezer, try to pack it in there and then rotate it. Chicken, beef, dry goods, rice, pastas, they're so easy. Split peas, again, the high protein count. It's cheap. You can get a bunch of them. You can bag them up, Mylar, put them in buckets or cans, however you want to store it. Get it while you can now. And the great thing about a lot of these, like beans and lentils, you can sprout those. You can grow more in the future. There's so many creative options out there. Um, like I said before, if you guys are coming in late, I had a very productive day. We got my truck back. I'm very happy. I now have a 2004 unicorn. We went to put the fuel pump in, found out we need a new fuel bag. So we had to look online, wound up getting it from a few states over, and just got back today. I cleaned it inside and out. I vacuumed it. It felt so good. I hope you guys are doing well and doing the best you can with everything that's going on. What are we, 23, 24 days out from the election? Speaking of election, it's just relentless stories about more and more stolen mail, including ballots found discarded in California, says officials. This is from the Epoch Times just today. It says mail stolen from mailboxes was found discarded in California this week, law enforcement says. Yeah, you got mailboxes being ransacked. You have mail being discarded on the side of the road. This is nuts. I personally like voting in person, but so far I've seen an article saying that over just under 900,000 people have voted through mail so far this year. That's up like 16% from the last election. Just canned 40 pounds of tomatoes for sauce. Ah, nice. 40 pounds isn't much after it's all cooked down and not raw Roma tomatoes and butter squash. You know what? It's better than nothing. A lot of people don't do this. A lot of people don't take the time to dig up the soil, get it prepared, get it ready, take the time to sprout seeds or throw the seeds in and then cultivate it, pull weeds, water it, feed it, and then pull from it from time to time and then save it for later. There's a big learning curve. This is, again, my third or fourth year now gardening, and I went big this year. I found out that was too much. That was too much garden space for me. We're actually getting rid of the triangle and just going to stick with the two pallets and the potato patch. That's it. It was a lot of work this year. Hey, don't knock 40 pounds of tomatoes. Even when you cook it down, that's still something. We picked about 30 plus pounds of apples. I made 2 overstuffed pies we put in the freezer. We made 10 pints of applesauce. Again, it's all something. It all adds up. All right, ICC, we got a few ballots with people's name on them we don't know. This is a new home, no previous owners. We are screwed. They're going to steal this one. You know what, guys? I have some optimism. Believe me, I hear you. It's frustrating. There were 2 semi-trailers found with shredded mail and ballot application. Yeah, again, you can't keep up with this information between the video of the guy in California having him and his neighbor's mailbox looted in the middle of the night, And then a pile of mail was found on the back of a car down the road. And both are balance missing. I've been guarding for 45 years and still learning. God bless you. That's amazing. Yeah, that's that's amazing. It's like life. There's always a curveball or something to learn or fix or get ready for the next year. Yeah, don't knock 40 pounds of tomatoes. We had tomato plants. We had such an awful drought this year. It was almost 6 weeks of barely any rain. It happens every day here, mail fraud and theft. You know what? Honestly, I know it's gonna sound cliche, but the best thing we could probably do is pray at this point. Inform people, keep them aware of this information, let them know of how important it is to vote, and more importantly, in person. And what I've also learned through this whole process of reading these articles is that if you suspect that your ballot is missing or something that you did request is not there, you can actually go back to your registrar's office, cancel it, and request a new one. Or better yet, guys, just go in person. That's the best way to do it. And I'll be honest. On 16, I was so nervous of which way I was going to go. I voted, and just for whatever reason, took a picture. I guess from my own accord, my own receipt, and went to bed early that night. I said to my husband, "Let me know. Just text me in the morning. Initials. Who won?" Because I didn't want to stay up all night and risk losing sleep and stressing out. That was horrible. This year, I will probably do the same thing. To be honest, this one's probably just as scary for many different reasons. It's all we can do. Yeah, absolutely. Our governor, Gruesome Newsom, is making us do mail only. Are you serious? You can't vote in person. Is he mandating that all Californians only vote through the mail? I did not hear about that. Please tell me he's not mandating it. Not in my area. Okay. Mail only for the whole state. He's gonna have you guys. Well, I know you guys are pretty blue. A lot of people are waking up. I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but a lot of the coastal states are, or at least have been historically in previous elections, blue. How is that legal, guys? This is crazy. I know there's a woman, I can't think of her name. She's been on a couple of days in a row now talking about, she actually combs through all the different states, um, suing the states for when they suspect or they see what they're doing is illegal. And God bless these people who are grassroots, genuine grassroots groups, being the eyes and ears of what's going on in all these states. I don't know how they do it. Bay City's in blue, most of the state is red. It's like that. A lot of cities are states. Pennsylvania, for example, someone mentioned it as a T. Yet Philly and Pittsburgh, blue, but then the rest of the state is like a T of red. Right. It all adds up. LOL, not much here. Not rain here most of the summer. 40 pounds came out and 8 pints, very thick sauce. Yeah, we got some tomatoes, just the little ones. The big ones just were all green. Nothing we can really do at that point. We had small pumpkins we were able to get seeds from. Really couldn't do much. We did have one. We wound up freezing it. We put in the oven, like it's soft, and we put in a bag. And yeah, salsa verde. Yes. But again, we're making it. We're gonna scale it down and go smaller next year, make it more manageable. But that drought really kicked us. And then the early freeze, that was in June. A late freeze, that was June 9th. Yeah, we lost a bunch in the pallet garden. So between the late freeze and the drought, yeah, everywhere, everyone, a lot of people are hurting. In fact, here, let me go over to that reminds me, AgWeb, May 9th. Yep. Here, let's check out AgWeb. There is an update from recent crop comments, and this is from October 6th, and this is from Phillips County, Colorado. Just finished planting our 2021 wheat crop. Very dismal conditions. Most everyone in our area have changed to disc drills the past decade, which made it hard to plant. In South Dakota, Northeast South Dakota, bean harvest all but done. Heavy black land. We plant on good soil. Yeah, and this another one. Finished soybeans Wednesday evening. Dryland beans were about as expected due to dryness of this past summer. And that's from Nebraska. Yeah, again, that's from agwib.com. And that is under recent crop comments. You can actually go over there and check out live comments from farmers. He signed the executive order on May 9th, 2020, mail only. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in a blue state too. I feel your pain. A lot of people are waking up. I will say this, don't trust the polls. At least I don't. I don't put a lot of stock in that. And if I learned anything from 2016, I really do believe that on top of everything that the media does to disorient the people and lie to them, or at least misguide them or push that narrative, polls do the exact same thing. They try to make you think, oh, well, what's the point? Let's go on that boat. Don't trust the polls. I wouldn't put any stock in them. Newsom did? Yeah, it looks like he looked it up. He signed the executive order on May 9th, 2020. The executive order does not replace in person voting, Newsom said during a press conference. Okay, wow, I can't stand that man. Yeah, isn't Pelosi's nephew? May 9th. Okay. All right. Yeah, looks like they just started taking out beans near me. Is that late? Guys, stock up while you can. Yeah, and I want to show that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they are. Absolutely. As are masks. Well, yeah, don't get me started down that rabbit hole, but yes, there's a if you want to watch some funny parody videos, oh, what is it called? Oh my goodness, Bear something. Bear Media? Basically like a parody group. I used to see he also took 30% of California returned to wildlife. He's going to return 30% of California to wildlife. Yeah, okay. The whole mismanagement of forest management, that's why the whole wildfires and everything. All right. Polls had Hillary winning, same as 16. Saw how that worked out for her. Yeah, yes, just announced today. Okay, so I'm in Connecticut. Where you from? Yeah. Hey, Buffy Summers. Yeah, do you guys want to share? I know there's some regulars here. I know Jeff is from Iowa. Tori's from California. California. All right, Tori's same state. You guys are in the same boat. But again, there's some clarification. I didn't know about him signing that or having the update that it doesn't replace in-person voting. So guys, please get that information out there. I will definitely put that in the next video for you guys. California. Still vote in person. Yeah, that's why the media can be very misleading, making you think that you can only vote in mail. But yeah, you guys, make sure you get that information out there. That's so important. Jewish community in New York City were burning masks in the street. I saw that video while they were dancing and waved Trump flags. Yeah. Did you also see the video of what's his name? The mayor. Yeah. Not Cuomo. The commie. He had the police go out and actually push the communities, several Jewish communities, out of the streets, actually physically push them. And they stood their ground to the point where the police just gave up. It is stunning how blatantly obvious he is with his hatred towards certain communities, and then being one of them. But one tiff, aren't they all at this point? Yeah, well, yeah, again, this is so important to get the information out there. Did a Trump drag the interstate last Saturday, amazing the Senate majority support? Oh my gosh, you guys, yeah, did you see the video I put out there? I tried streaming it live a couple times. One was successful where we got to Hartford. For some reason, it showed live. It showed I had a healthy stream. After the point, it didn't. It showed maybe like 2 or 3 seconds and then it cut. So that was frustrating. But we across the country, there was this organized effort to have this drag, like collectively get the state together and then drive to the Capitol. And we had at least 200 people just in our one group of the four in the state. We all met up in Manchester and then drove to the Capitol. We had more people giving us thumbs up, waving, recording. You see all these phones sticking out of the cars, and you didn't feel alone. You actually felt like, okay, there are more people that are waking up. At least it doesn't matter what side you are, just wake up and get back to the roots, get back to the basics, get back to your rights. You got to stop these people from trampling on our rights in the Constitution. Yeah, it gave us hope. So far, we haven't had any mandatory face muzzles ordinance. Wow, that's amazing. Our governor has continued to say no to it. That's amazing. That's amazing. Just like South Dakota, that's amazing. Good for you guys. We're not the fortunate here. Um, I try to avoid it where I can, or at least go to stores where I know where everything is. Just get in and out. Dem or GOP. Your jag for me was blocked. Really? All right. Well, it said I had a live stream and healthy connection, but at least one of the videos got through. What do you mean, Dem or GOP? Turn off the TV. Yeah. This is a big reason why a lot of big and small channels, no one's immune at this point. I learned that the hard way last year when there's one video I have that has 52,000 views, and it was talking about Omar and her breaking all these laws. 52,000 views, channel's climbing, it's growing, and all of a sudden just it hit a hard stop. I lost 26 subscribers in a span of 4 hours. Um, just everything stopped, the growth stopped. And then only this year it started ramping up again. I hate to say it, but I was trying to censor what I was saying and things I was talking about, but luckily we hit a milestone of 1,000, and that does help with your exposure. But at the same time, I find it more important to share other people's channels and information. If anyone is getting a bigger audience, I'll say, guys, check them out. They're getting more information out there. Whatever you know, whatever you can do, work together collectively. This is how we can make a difference. Like finding out that just because California had that ordinance in, you can still, it doesn't replace voting in person. So if you can still get out and vote in person, do it. Oh, Jeff, which party is your governor, Dem or GOP? All right, so Rob wants to know, Jeff, might be why the no mask required. Absolutely. And then a few counties and towns have, but it's against the law here, non-enforceable laws. Yeah, a lot of people think they're laws. It clearly states on a lot of these signs mandate, doesn't make it a law. But again, it's up to the private business owner to tell you, what they want in their stores and what they don't want. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is so important to get that information out there. I wasn't aware of him making that mandate back in May 9th. But yeah, it doesn't replace in-person voting. I've had several videos from other channels blocked. Really? That explains a lot. Or I have found out that a lot of people that I did follow, I haven't heard from, so I would go in and I wasn't subscribed. That's another scary thing too, is a lot of us being unsubscribed. Executive orders aren't laws derived from the state legislature. That's correct. A lot of people think and view executive orders as law. They're not. GOP. Okay. There you go, Rob. He's got a GOP governor. Good for you. Our confidence in our governor, it falls underneath the guy's name of Ned. But yeah, I did want to get back to the topic that we did, at least title under. There's a lot of information here. But I don't know if you guys are aware of or heard of the Chinese military over in Canada. I'm going to get back to this one tweet. This is from Jacob Gonzalez. And he posted this October 7th, and he talks about what's going on over at the border. What's Antifa doing? What's the Chinese doing? And he shares this paragraph here. It says, Chinese military trucks late at night driving down the freeway in Canada to this particular Indian reservation for the past 6 months. The Prime Minister of Canada signed a treaty in January of 2020 allowing Chinese troops possession of Canadian land. Eyewitnesses are reporting seeing Antifa groups going to and from Washington state to Canada to the Indian reservation in Canada where the Chinese troops are located. Eyewitnesses also reported that the Chinese troops were supplying Antifa in Seattle as well. I don't know if you guys were aware of that. I just found that last night. Yep. All right. It says a niece of mine is a cop in my hometown in Illinois. She said there is nothing they can do about non-mask wearers. Nice. Kim Reynolds is our governor. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about. Again, I just heard this last night. Started doing some digging today, and this is quite disturbing. I found an old article. 1/3 of Vancouver's real estate market is owned by Chinese buyers. Yeah, that was something I just read today. And let's see. Let's see if we can find this. Yeah, there's a lot of information on here. This comes back from 2013. Now, this comes from medium.org. It says the Chinese are coming, the Chinese are coming. Secret Chinese military bases in Canada and Mexico. We take a closer look. And I'm going to do a separate video after this goes live. And I'll put all these tabs up and the links for you guys to take a look at. This is some heavy information. This goes all the way back to 2013, and I'm just finding out about it now. This is from medium.com. Again, that heading is the Chinese are coming, the Chinese are coming. And then the tweet from Jacob Gonzalez talks about witnesses seeing the Chinese troops being allowed, I guess, to stay there and station in Canada on this Indian reservation. And this other article relating to the same topic comes from Epoch Times, and it says this is from today. China ties to U.S. riots exposed by Trevor Loudon. Now, I'll read the first article or the paragraph. Most of the riots that raked the U.S. within the first few months of the year were organized by two socialist organizations which have close ties with the Chinese Communist Party, said Trevor Loudon, author and filmmaker who has been researching radical and terrorist groups and their covert influence on mainstream politics for over 30 years. This is a deep article, and I'm going to get into this in another video for you guys. And there's a lot of, let's see, let's check over here. Okay, good. Let's continue. And there's an article talking about the global food prices rise as famine threat emerges. This is from yesterday. And this is from Zero Hedge. Food prices continue rising though during the corona, jeopardizing food security for tens of millions worldwide. On Thursday, the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, we've talked about that before, of the UN, said world food prices rose for the fourth consecutive month in September, led by surging prices for cereals, vegetable oils, reported from Reuters. And talks about cereal prices rising up to 13.6% above its value 1 year earlier. Same thing for meat, sugar, and dairy products, cereals. All right. So, needless to say, on top of all that, you have the culling of the pigs for pig flu, and then you have shortages and crop destruction going on. Yeah, and then there's also the article from CNN. Worried about more shortages, grocery stores are stockpiling goods. Yeah, this is a sneaky topic. You're hearing more about Orange Man Bad or votes and ballots going missing, but you have big box stores and grocery stores stockpiling. Try to see what else is going on here. Yeah, it's a lot of that same information. Okay, hold on, let's catch up here. Wasn't it just a few months ago they discovered a Chinese ship with guns and gun parts? Yes, and that was another article I saw. Another channel was talking about that very same thing, actually supplying firearms to Antifa and BLM in Seattle, Washington area, and I think Oregon, but definitely Seattle. There's a big offload there. I call BS. They want to starve us to death. Yeah. Hi, Bill and wife. Just like, yeah, I agree. I agree, Tori. They don't want to starve us. They want to control us. I think it's both. The fact that they're not warning us about the big, like big picture, not just talking like little segments here, little segments there, parts here. If you put all the pieces together, politics, writing, and crop destruction globally, the big picture, control, and just keeping us in the dark. A lot of it I contribute to distractions, honestly. I mean, think about the last 4 years. It's been trying to get him out of office, trying, Orange man out of office. It's one distraction, impeachment, this and that. Nothing sticks. They have nothing to go on other than fear and division. And that's all they've been playing is that fear and division card. Now you throw in this global issue we've been dealing with. That's a hell of a distraction to get us all lost in this stress and fear. So it's important for us to collectively work together, breathe, and just get ready for whatever is going to happen. All right, hold on. Kill. Why call off the workforce? Who would do their bidding? A port in California, I believe Trump took the ports away from them. Yeah, that was another thing. Ports. That was early on in the year too, with the shortages and trying to get control back. The deep state doesn't want to lose their power. Control through starvation. Yeah. Again, we've talked about this many times. If you look back in history with these minimums, there's mass population migration. There is, especially the 1300s, there's paintings. I remember, I'm trying to remember what channel it was. I want to give them credit. There was a channel that showed artwork from the 1300s depicting, they're heavy paintings talking, showing people starving and going after one another. Try not to be too graphic. And no, no one really was spared from this. Elite down to the working class, and then some, the downtrodden, I guess, and just difficult times, challenging times. And if you do your research with these grand minimums, I think the last one was the Dalton minimum, and then you have the modern minimum, Spore minimum, Wolf minimum, and each one in particular was devastating to crops and population. All right, Jeff, we are a repeat of the Roman Empire. Research the similarities between them and us. Absolutely. Everything is cyclical. It's not a straight line. Everything does repeat. Stalin started millions in the Ukraine. Yeah, absolutely. This is another big reason why not to go that red route. He got blue, he got red, and then he got that particular rosy red. And unfortunately, between the indoctrination from the universities and schools, for what was the KGB that deflected and came here, warned us about that? I can't remember his name. He did a video, an interview, a lengthy one, and I shared a clip of it. Yeah, yeah, Tori, you're right. Yuri, thank you. Yes, we did. I found that fascinating. I didn't want to play the whole thing, but more or less just get the gears going, and then have you check out the whole video and that link. Yeah, Yuri Bezmenov. I'm telling you, man, when you find a gem of information like that, don't take it for granted. Give the information a chance, and at least at the very least research and look into it. That's so important. And there's so much information out there that goes unseen and unheard, and it's so important that we help bring that to the surface. Every I know it sounds cliche again, but every vote does make a difference, and depending on how close it is, absolutely. If we could wake up enough people to what's going on and how we're being played and used, absolutely. Yeah, I'll show that. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of great books and information out there. The Naked Communist. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah, I gotta do a separate video with all these links. Doing live is one thing, but it's so important to get that out. Okay, good video. Okay. Naked Communist. It's almost like information overload. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Hopefully I've seen it. If I haven't, I'll definitely look into that one. But did you guys check out the video I shared from, oh, what's his name? I'm trying to remember. It's been a long day. Heinrich. He also is into and is very knowledgeable about solar minimums. He talks about the year 536. Let me look this up. Um, 536 AD being the worst year to be alive. I put a clip of that in the last video I put together. It talked about natural things that go on and the influence of the sun that has on our planet. Yeah, this is all good information, and I will definitely do more digging into the Chinese over in Canada. That's true. Too bad that liberals don't research Margaret Sanger. That's a whole separate video. But Cliff Notes, Margaret Sanger, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, I wish we get like a whole wide variety of people on here to have the back and forth dialogue. I believe the story goes that during the Great Depression, a lot of men who were migrating from town to town and state to state looking for work, sometimes they would go to houses and they would be able to find food. And someone went to Sanger's house and the father was gone looking for work. And two black men wound up beating her mother near death. All the kids ran upstairs. They came down, and she basically saw her mother die and succumb to her injuries. And I think that's what was the seed that implanted in her mind that, in her mind, anyone who was black in her mind was, in her mind, or wait, how does she describe it? Weeds. And that's how she wound up creating ultimately Planned Parenthood. And a lot of them are mainly focused in on inner cities. And you got Hillary saying that that was her role model, getting the Margaret Sanger Award. But you're absolutely right. Too bad liberals don't do the research. But again, look at colleges and universities and schools. Look at how many videos have we shared on here talking about and showing videos of teachers basically brainwashing our children, telling them who to vote for and don't question it. Like, just trust me. This is what I'm telling you, and that's good enough for you. And they don't question the teachers. They don't question the professors. That's basically where we're at, unfortunately. But big picture, work together, get ready, have a plan, stock up on supplies while you can, while they're available and affordable. That's probably the best thing we can do. And keep our nose to the grindstone with information, especially with this across the border. I just heard about that last night with the Chinese troops over there at that Indian reservation. Yeah, there's a lot of information in there. Liberals couldn't be here because we don't call each other our names or scream and bark like dogs. Yeah, basically. I do make an honest attempt to keep this neutral when it comes to information on the channel. I am human. I do have my beliefs and what I do stand for, my principles. But again, when it comes to information, most definitely I will present it to you and say, do with it what you want. Take it with a grain of salt. Research it. I really do try and make sure I put links to all of the tabs of information I do share on here because I really do want everyone to do their own fact finding, do their own research. Don't just read a headline and say, oh, okay, I'm informed now. Read the article, watch the video, and research and read other articles. Same title, get different sources. That's like the best thing you can do. When it comes to liberals or modern day liberals and those on the left, it's that sheep, that herd mentality. When you get them all together, they're so loud and aggressive. But when you separate them, a lot of them are more willing to listen to you. I've seen it. I've experienced it. When they're one on one, they'll listen. They'll actually hear you, especially when you present facts and information. And then they start doing this on their phone. Watch the Dinesh D'Souza's Hillary's America. I have the book. I really want to watch his latest movie with again, I can't think of his name. He played Jesus. And it was fascinating watching the interview when they were casting for him. They didn't cast him originally for the lead because they didn't think they could afford him. And then when he asked who was playing the lead, he's like, well, I want the lead. I'll do this. I want to do this. That was amazing. Yeah, God bless that guy too. That guy's been through hell and back. Trump Card is his newest movie. Yeah. Again, I give so much credit to the grassroots, those whose names we don't know, the groups who are keeping their eyes and ears open to what is going on in every state and holding those states accountable. It's amazing. And it's so important that we get that information out there. In fact, I just got a reply back today. Let me check my email from Michigan for the FOIA request, holding these people accountable, trying to get accurate death numbers from Michigan nursing homes. The numbers that they put out only account for 440 something nursing homes. They don't count for collectively the healthcare facilities, the licensed facilities, the facilities who care for the elderly who don't have anyone else to care for them, which is just under 4,500. So you are not getting an accurate number from that state. Jim Caviezel? Yes. Thank you. Yeah, that looks so good. That movie looks phenomenal. And the interview he gave, he actually quoted a speech from Reagan. And as he's speaking, I'm like, he's quoting Reagan. And that was remarkable how well he memorized it, how well he spoke it and gave that speech. You can tell when people are living their lives with purpose, walking their lives with purpose. And so many people are doing that in droves, especially this year, waking up to what's going on and actually putting those pieces together to see the big picture. And it's so good to have these channels come together and work together, get the information out there. Big and small, especially on DLive. There's so many that's a great community on DLive. So many great supporters on there. It's a great community. More and more people are going on there, which is phenomenal. Tori, I saw you go on there. That's great. I'll be sharing more channels on there. It's a great community. None of that. Yeah, none of the numbers are real. No, not at all. Especially the death numbers. No. Yeah, it's um it's a real eye opener. This whole entire year has been one big eye opener, and at the same time, it's you can see how the left had played their cards and really exposed what their true agendas are, thinking they can actually hurt a lot of people. And in actuality, it woke a lot of people up, especially in their own party, to what their true intentions are, what their plans are, what their own personal agenda is. Like Biden, for example, a lot of that came to light what his record is 48 years in politics. And what does the guy have to show for it? What's his track record? He came into politics and made millions. Trump comes in and loses millions, but look what he's gotten accomplished. Lowest unemployment rates across the board. You pick a color, it's the lowest in history. Lowering taxes, what, the biggest tax cut in 30, almost 40 years? The reforms he's made to the prison reforms. I mean, it's just across the board. It's everyone. Doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter what working class you are. Tax cuts, everyone's seen and felt that progress. Businesses being open to hire people and expand. The Reagan speech is called A Time for Choosing. A lot of heavy information has come out this year. A lot of people's eyes are opening up. Um, Kind of a few years late, but it's happening. And you just hope, guys, that, especially in California, that enough of that happens. I believe there is a silent majority, especially in blue states, especially in California. So if more people can vote in person, Creepy Uncle Joe has done, yeah, bupkis, yeah, to say the least. I think he's done more harm than good, without a doubt. So if he's done anything, he's hurt a lot of people, then helped those well, besides his family. But again, a lot of that has come to light. A lot of it's about his family, a lot about the parties, what their track records are. A lot of people are doing their research and learning for themselves, thank God, who they're voting for. They're actually researching instead of just voting cross party line. It's who am I voting for? What do I know about this person? Yeah, a lot of this. This is great stuff. I want to make sure we hit everything on the topics and whatnot. Yeah, I think we did. But the biggest thing I'm going to keep looking into is China again hurting us. If it was not the flu, it's enabling and empowering Antifa and BLM to destroy us physically in our streets and in our towns. But yeah, no, that's definitely going to be for the next video, along with anything else in here. All right, let's end this on a positive note, like we've been trying to do. There's a story, and I will put this in the video. This comes from goodnewsnetwork.com. Greek athlete carries disabled woman up Mount Olympus, fulfilling her lifelong dream to climb. And an injury that left her paralyzed, and they became friends through climbing. Remembered her. He actually rigged up this special backpack for her, put her on her back. They climbed it in 2 days. They did, let's see, long distance runner, taking on challenges. He trekked, let's see. All right, let's see. She was 22 years old, befriended 22-year-old biology student. I'm going to butcher her name. And learned of her dream and experienced to summit herself. And it goes on to say it seemed only natural that he was more than ready to rise for the occasion. And there's a beautiful picture of him smiling with her on his back with the Greek flag. And let's see, they reached the 2,400 meters. The party stopped to rest, making camp for the night. They resumed 6 o'clock in the morning the next morning. 3 hours later, 9:02 local time, having put in more than 10 hours climbing all told, the triumphant pair reached the 2,918-meter summit. Quote, there's nothing more real than the dream. That is great. I just want to end it on that good note because there's a lot of stuff going on, especially with China and everything else. Yeah. So I'm going to put that in the next video, but I want to end it here. Thanks, guys, for joining in again Friday night. You guys are great. I'm exhausted. This is a great day. Getting the truck back and cleaning it. And yeah, now we're ready for pallets and pellets and supplies to get ready for winter. So got a very busy weekend ahead of us. And maybe we'll put together something with other projects. But while there's still apples out there on trees, while there's still some produce or maybe in farmers markets, get your dehydrators going, keep them running. Mylar bags, those are still available online. So if you can't find canning jars or lids, you can still use Mylar bags for your dry goods and whatever you want to dehydrate. Mylar bags, it's flexible, it's metal, a thin metal, and it will keep out light and moisture. And the great thing is you can reuse them. You can open them up and reseal them again. Have a great weekend. Did you get my 2 emails? I believe I did. About the grocery store. I need your I need your address. I'm not gonna stop nagging you. I need your address there, Tori. I want to get your food out. Um, Send me a reminder just in case. But yeah, it's funny. Early in the show, I started getting hit with emails. But yeah, I definitely want to see D'Souza's movie. That looks great. Yeah, is up at the grocery store about your friend at the grocery store talking about them actually getting stocked up and actually telling their own employees to get ready. Yeah, that was I will say this. I give anyone who's a business owner, and no, I didn't get your address. I didn't get that email. But again, I give anyone who's a business owner actually giving the heads up to their employees to get ready. That's a lot of credit. But again, when it comes to canning supplies, get Mylar bags. They're still available with O2 absorbers. I'll check. Send it one more time. If I don't get it, I'll just email you as a reminder, just in case. But I want to get that out there. Welcome to the world of censorship. I got pro-time mail. Normally they're supposed to be like friendly, censorship free, but let's say, I don't know. I'll check. But yeah, I want to get that out this weekend. And then I'll look through some more supplies. I'll look for something else to get out to someone, some lucky heck no, owned by CERN. All right, well, shoot it a third time. We'll see what happens. In worst case, I'll try my personal email and see what happens. But definitely be back for next Friday. I want to talk some more topics. Keep the emails coming. Anything you want to share Small stories, big stories, doesn't matter. It's worth getting out there and helping out one another. That's talkwithtiffany@protonmail.com. You can email me there. And I am also on DLive and Odyssey. My videos are linked and synced on there as well. Yeah, that's it really. Just stay safe, have a plan, keep your dehydrators running. Stock up on Mylar bags. You can use those for anything from dry goods to anything you want to dehydrate. Rotate your stuff, have a plan. I went through my bin in my truck. I have emergency blankets in there, matches, candles, bungee cords, twine, and I had to replace the peanut butter and then any snacks in there. So again, get creative. It's all about your own personal plan. What works best for you. Get home bags, bug out bags, Rubbermaid containers for anything you want to store in there as well. This is the time to do it. Make sure your vehicles are running and ready for winter. And again, just sharing tips, tricks, and information with one another and getting the information out there. So I just want to say thank you guys for your time. Please be safe and productive. And I will talk to you all in the next video.